Hello and welcome to the Free Kick Podcast. My name is Todd, and like you guys know by now, this is our Philadelphia Union quiz mini-series podcast, whatever you want to call it. You know, it's just keeping us all busy, entertained as we're going through Unionless soccer. But I'm super excited to welcome back an old friend to the podcast. I'd like to welcome on Mr. Anthony Oliver, and making his debut today, I have Rich. How are you guys doing today?
Doing real good.
Good, Todd.
Good. It's nice to have you back, Anthony. I mean, I know last time I had you on, we finally got hooked up and everything to play FIFA and everything. So I know it's not like, oh, I haven't talked to you in forever. I talk to you occasionally. But Rich, this is the second time we met, so I'm happy to finally get you on the podcast and everything. And it's always a blast talking to new Union friends or just familiar faces. So thank you guys so much for coming on.
Yeah, likewise. Appreciate you having me.
No problem.
Looking forward to it. It'll be fun.
No problem. But I've been asking everybody just what are they doing with no soccer? And I'll start with you, Anthony. I mean, I know you won that Philadelphia Union FIFA tournament. So, I mean, how'd that go for you?
Not good. I think I finished about 20th out of 34, but there was probably 5 or 10 that forfeited. So I was pretty close to the bottom, but it was nice to at least see some soccer since we have nothing live right now. So it was fun.
Yeah, I mean, it is a tough time. And the one thing I've been enjoying is I said it last episode where the Union are replaying old videos and everything. So with me being a newer fan and everything, I get to go back and rewatch some of those older games and everything, like the Toux game, the hat-trick game. I mean, that was an awesome game. And for the people that were there in person, I mean, I can't even imagine what that felt like. So, I mean, I was getting chills watching that just from my computer and everything. But to be there in person, I can't imagine what it was like. Were either of you guys at that game?
Oh, yeah. I was there.
I was not there. Nope. I came in, I think, the following year, but I wish I was.
So how was that game in person?
It was a pretty big deal. It was a pretty big game, and it was such a big crowd in the River End. It wasn't in the River End then, but what had become the River End was just enormous. And the way, Toux scored so early on, and it was just a great way to kind of welcome the team to the area. It was exciting. And it was exciting to rewatch it, too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are listening to this podcast, or people that might not be listening to this podcast, people on social media that got a late start to the team just like myself, and really enjoyed the team replaying those videos and everything. But I know you posted a couple days ago, Rich, on Twitter that you went to Subaru Park recently, even though it was closed. How was that?
Well, yeah, I went down because I wanted to see the improvements to the area, and plus, quite frankly, I was just bored. And it was a beautiful day, and I figured there wouldn't be a lot of people around there. And that, for all those reasons, it worked out really well. I got to see a lot of the improvements, but boy, it hurt a little bit to be at the stadium and not be able to go in. Yeah, I really miss that place. It's going to be great when we finally can come back. I can't even imagine how that's going to be.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks. I mean, like I said, just watching those old videos or watching old YouTube clips and everything, it's like, man, this is like getting me antsy to get back to the stadium and everything to cheer on the boys in blue. But, I'm sure it's going to eventually happen, but I'll go back into that next question. Do you guys think we'll get soccer this year for MLS, or you think they'll cancel it?
I hope we get it. I mean, I'm fine. I've heard we might just play Eastern Conference, or I don't care what happens as long as there's some kind of soccer. They can't cancel the season, but I don't know.
Rich?
I feel exactly the same way. I mean, the longer it goes, obviously you start to look at the numbers and even thinking about how long it would take for the players to get back up to speed. And yeah, I just hope I get to see some live soccer this year. I mean, just like what Anthony said. I don't know what that means or what it looks like, but something. I'll tell you, the grass looked gorgeous.
I bet. I mean, that's one thing the teams struggle with is keeping fresh grass and everything. And I know, like, we've seen the field all beat up before we even got a game played on. And we had no snow this year, so I'm sure that helped a lot. And,
yeah,
I mean, it
picture
just
perfect.
Sucks. Yeah,
this stadium looked gorgeous. Like, all the paintings they had up and the different buildings they had bought and put murals up, it just looks great.
And I'm sure the new scoreboard, too. I think you said today on Twitter that thing was enormous.
It's huge.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man,
Maybe just play, and we could all just sit out on the lawn and watch from outside. Although that would kind of defeat.
Yeah, we'll sit on top of the Commodore Barry and watch from the top.
There you go. Yeah, see, now you're thinking.
You just shut down the bridge, let all the fans on there, and then we'll be cheering on the bridge for 90+ minutes. So I just hope we get some soccer and everything. And so I'm big into listening to sports talk, radio, and everything. And so today on the only station in Baltimore, they were talking about would fans, as soon as this quarantines lifted and everything, would fans go to stadiums and everything as soon as it's announced? And apparently they did a survey. 60% of the people said that they're wait for this thing, even if like sports are allowed, they're wait for it to die down still and everything. So I want to get your guys' opinion. Like if they say, okay, sports are a go, are you guys going to go right away? Are you guys going to still wait or?
I'm a cautious person generally speaking, but I know that I'll be there as soon as I can be there. If they had an open practice tomorrow, I'd probably be there.
I think I'm in. I mean, it's kind of tough because whenever this ban is lifted, it's obviously not going to go back to normal right away. But if there's a home game tomorrow, I'm going to be there. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you guys. Like when we thought we were going to play San Jose, I know people were debating whether or not if they were going to go and everything. I'm like, we haven't had a home game yet. I know they made all these improvements. Like, who knows? Like, this might be our last home game for who knows how long. And well, we didn't even get the home game, and I was planning on going to that game with my sister. But now we wait and everything, and so I have friends of other clubs and MLS and everything. I'm like, yeah, you guys have no clue how lucky you are to say, oh, we had a home game in 2020. It's like, yeah, the team made all these improvements. We made some signings and everything. We can't even see these guys in person. Like you guys are so lucky, but hopeful that our time comes.
One thing about this whole pause in the season is really kind of brings home to me just how important this team has really become to me. And I really, really miss it. And this time of year, you take a walk in the evening and it's soccer weather, like I want to go watch a game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was gorgeous down here in Maryland. I'm sure likewise up there in Pennsylvania for you guys. And I've been getting emails from MLS.com like, oh, we have 20% off the whole site or 40% on select items and everything. So I'm looking to get older Union jerseys, but the oldest, I should say, that I can find is like the 15-16 kit and everything. Like it looks nice and everything, but what I really want is that 2013 black third kit and everything, but I cannot find that thing anywhere. So any listeners, if you guys know where I can find older Union gear, hit me up. And I'm sure that stuff's like historic and everything. Like you cannot find it anywhere. But
see that stuff on Twitter once in a while. Someone will post something like that on Twitter, like, "Hey, there's a couple available."
Yeah.
Oh, I have to keep my eyes open. eBay. Yeah, I looked on eBay, and a guy posted a couple stuff, but it was all extra large. I'm like, yeah, I'm not extra large.
Todd, you got to bulk up a little bit. That's all.
Yeah.
maybe. But that's enough ranting and just welcoming back Anthony and getting to know Rich a little bit. Let's get into the game. And the first section that I'm going to start with today is called 5 and 25. It's the section we've been starting with the last 3 episodes or whatever. Like you guys know by now, 5 and 25 is where I ask each contestant 5 questions, and they have 25 seconds to answer the questions. The clock starts after I read the first question. If a contestant doesn't know the answer, they can say skip, and we can go back to the question if time permits. I asked you guys this before. You guys said you had no questions. You guys still good with no questions?
Yep.
Awesome. Yep. I'm going to start with you first, Anthony.
Okay.
All right. So we are going to start with this first question. Like I said, the timer starts after I read the first question. What is the most games Zach McMath has played in a season?
20.
Who scored the game-winning goal against New York Red Bulls in the 2019 playoffs?
Fabian.
How many league goals does Anthony Fontana have for the Union?
6.
Who was the Union's last league win of the 2019 season against?
Red Bulls.
And what MLS team did David Accam join from?
Oh, Dallas.
No. So,
that was probably 1 for 5.
let me get it all tallied up for you.
Oh God.
Anthony, don't worry. I wouldn't have done very well either. Some of those.
I knew Accam too. Is it Columbus?
It was Chicago.
Oh, that's right. So I still didn't know. All right.
So the first one, Zach McMath played 34 games in a season, and that was in 2013. You got the Marco Fabian one right, obviously. I'd hope you got that one right. Anthony Fontana has only scored 2 goals so far for the Union. And then the last league win of the 2019 season came against San Jose. So 1 for 5. And don't worry, Anthony, you got 2 points. So it's better than what Devin did last episode. So you can say, hey, I did better than the producer of Sons of Ben.
That timer is just taken away and just messes with your thinking. I was trying to play along with you there. I would have done about the same.
Yeah. Well, the Fontana one was a shot in the dark, but I knew it wasn't a whole lot. I just,
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these, I mean, you got to take a guess on, like you said, Rich. I mean, once that timer gets going and everything, it's like, yeah, I don't have too much time to think about this and everything. So it's like, it's either I know it or I say skip, and if time permits, then we'll go back to it. But are you ready to start your questions, Rich?
Sure.
All right. First question for you. Who scored the third hat trick in club history?
Spong.
Who was the Union's first league win against in 2019?
Skip.
Who scored the first goal for the Union against New York Red Bulls in the playoffs?
Skip.
How many league goals does Aronson have for the Union?
8.
How many U.S. Open Cup finals have the Union lost?
3.
And that is right. So the two questions that you skipped were who scored the first goal for the Union in the playoffs against Red Bull? That was Ali Bedoya. He scored it on the opposite side of the field.
Right.
Yep. And then who was the Union's first league win against in 2019? That answer was Columbus Crew. So, Rich, you got 2 out of the 5 right. That leads you, put you in the lead with 4 points. So you'd lead Anthony by 2 points.
Sheesh. If
I
you
think
gave me
the
like
Bedoya,
10 minutes, I might have got all those.
yeah, the Bedoya one might be the only one I knew of that round too. This is a tough round.
Yeah, I know. I like, I've always wondered, like, you guys both listen to other episodes. I'm like, like, I'm obviously not giving everybody the same difficult questions and everything. It's like, I guess some episodes are harder than others and everything, but it's like, there's only so many questions I can come up with a speed round or whatever, unless I want to give you guys, like you said, 10 minutes, Rich, and everything. And then you guys can do a little bit of Googling and everything. So,
yeah.
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that. We wouldn't do that.
No.
But, yeah, no, it's just, it's like I live these questions, so I should be able to pull those from my brain,
Yeah, but like you said, once that timer starts and everything, it's like it puts you under all the pressure in the world. But I mean, talking about that playoff game, I asked you both a question from the playoff game. That it sucks. That was our last game, but it was such a memorable game at Talent Energy, now Subaru Park, and everything. But I mean, I'm just hoping. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but hopefully we can have more moments like that for this upcoming season. Hopefully the season gets going and everything, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling really confident with this team. I'm happy with the signings we made and everything. I think Ernst has done a pretty good job putting this roster together.
In Ernst, we trust.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if it's just because we haven't seen it, haven't been to a game yet, but maybe that's making me get more optimistic. But I just want to see some soccer, so I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there's no soccer anywhere unless you look at these lower leagues and whatnot. But I'm like, I'm not going to be that desperate and everything. It's like it'll all come back eventually, hopefully.
It's different when it's your team. It's a whole different thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. But let's go ahead and go into the next category, which is true and false. That's pretty self-explanatory to you guys. I'll ask you guys 5 true-false questions each. Each question will be worth 1 point, and we'll start with you first, Rich. And remember, this is not time, so take your time.
Okay.
All right, the first question for you. True or false, the Union recorded 12 shutouts in the 2012 season?
True.
It is. True or false, the Union had 60 assists in the 2019 season?
60 assists. Seems like a lot. False.
You're right. It is false. They had 59, so they were 1 off of 60.
Oh, wow.
Still,
I thought it would seem way high, yeah.
Still a ton of assists. So, I mean, the Union set records all throughout 2019.
Straight lucky guess there.
All right, question number 3. True or false, Colin has 2 goals for the Union?
True.
It is false. He has not scored yet for the Union. So.
Oh, I thought. Okay.
All right, question number 4. True or false, the Union are on a 6-game win streak in the league against DC United?
Ooh. I think maybe true.
It is true.
Might be sure.
It is, yeah.
Really?
We really had their number, yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised when I went back and did this. The winning streak starts from May 13th of 2017, and our last loss came April 1st of 2017 at DC. So, like you said, Rich, I mean, we've had the number from the last couple games.
Yeah, last few seasons, yeah.
Yeah, last few seasons, exactly. And question number 5, the last one here for this category. True or false, Elsinho has 1 red card in his Union career?
I feel like that's true. Is that true? That's true.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know who it was against?
Red
I don't
Bulls.
remember, but is it Red Bulls?
It
Yeah.
is,
I
yeah.
can't remember
Yeah.
I don't remember what happened.
You
But
remember,
I kind of
Anthony?
remember that it
Preseason,
happened.
I think. Was it preseason?
No, it was during the season.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I just knew it was Red Bulls.
Oh, well,
Did he
you
just
were right. Yeah.
Did he just stomp somebody by kind of jumped? I don't remember what
He
happened.
elbowed them in the throat. So.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That'll do it.
Yeah. So let me see. You went 4 for 5 in that category. Not bad at all, Rich. That leaves you with 8 points so far. And Anthony, we'll go to you.
Okay. Making
All
it
right.
tough, Rich.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
All right, Anthony, your first question: true or false? Goalkeeper Carlos Miguel has played in the Champions League.
False.
True. He when the Union lost him, RB Salzburg were desperate for a goalkeeper, so he played, I believe, in 2 Champions League games for them. So.
Okay.
All right, question number 2. True or false? The Union have lost 13. True or false? The Union have 13 wins against DC United in the league.
True.
It is true. Yeah, I was surprised by that. But like Rich said earlier, I'm sure probably gave that away, said we've had their number and everything. So DC United, I mean, I'm sure those guys don't want to consider us their rivals, but I mean,
They need
like
to do
Rich
better if
said.
they want to be our rivals.
Yeah.
That's true right there. All right, question number 3 for you, Anthony. True or false? The Union posted a garbage truck outside the stadium for a sponsorship.
Did you say this year?
Just in general.
Yes.
Do you remember when it was?
2018?
It was. Do you remember that,
Okay.
Rich?
Up to star. I remember that.
Yeah.
And then
I thought at the end you said this year, so I was waiting to try to get have you catch me, but I did know there was a garbage truck at some point. So.
And there was a game against DC United which we wound up winning against, but then I remember DC United, the Red Bulls, and I'm sure other teams got in on it, but they were all trolling us like, oh, like, of course you guys would do this. Like, you guys are having a terrible season, and now you have a garbage truck outside of your stadium. I mean, how fitting. So
They were not trolling us nearly as bad as we were trolling us that day.
Yeah.
Ain't that the truth? Yeah. All right, question number 4, Anthony. True or false? Ray Gaddis leads the Union in appearances.
True.
It is. 208. So last season they gave him his own jersey before the game started. I'm sure you guys probably remember that. And I mean, Ray Gaddis gets a lot of hate from us Union fans for not scoring a goal and everything, but for the most part, he's done a pretty good job in my opinion. You know, he's played left back, which it's not his natural position. He's done a decent job playing right back. I know a lot of us fans want him to get up in the attack a lot more, but for the most part, he's not killing us. He's just not helping us in the attack when we would like it. So shout out to Ray Gaddis.
Yeah.
And the final question for you, Anthony. True or false? The most goals the Union have allowed in a season is 54.
I'm going to go false.
Wow, you got it. That is false. 55 is the most goals they've given up in a season. They've done that 2 times in the 2015 and the 2016 season. And so now, Anthony, you went 4 for 5 also, and that leaves us still where we were before we did this. Rich, you have 8 points, and Anthony, you have 6. So all to play for in the next round, you guys. So only a 2-point difference.
Doing a hell of a job there, Anthony.
That was a lot of guesses.
I'm sure it is for a lot of people.
A lot of those true or false ones are like, that seems true. I'm not sure, but it seems true.
Yeah.
Yeah. With this team, especially in the earlier years, it's like, not some of our finest moments and everything. So it's like,
oh man,
like you said,
lived
Rich,
it, Todd, lived it. Oh.
and see, I guess I'm kind of lucky just getting a late start to the Union and everything. I haven't really had to adore any of those early, just terrible games and everything. But being a Manchester United fan, ever since Sir Alex left, it hasn't been the best of times. So I guess in one sense, I've not been living the best as a Manchester United fan either. So
yes.
Yeah, we feel your pain.
And our final category is where contestants will go head-to-head against each other in guessing the Union player I am describing. I'll give 5 clues, and the contestants can buzz in whenever they think they know the player. Contestants will buzz in by saying their own name. So, for example, if Rich knows it, he'll say Rich. If a contestant answers wrong, that will freeze them out until I describe the next player. Each question will be worth 3 points each. Questions, anyone?
Nope.
All right, Here we go. Player number 1. Played for FC Metz. Hint number 2 is a Colombian. Hint number 3, left at the end of the 2011 season.
Rich.
Go ahead, Rich.
Is that Mondragon?
It is, yeah. There you go. 3 points right there. Not bad at all. And the other 2 hints for that were, at the time, became the oldest player to play in a World Cup at the age of 43, and then first name, Farid. So there you go. 3 points there for you, Rich. Player
Froze up.
Yeah.
You said Mets. I was like, I know this. And I froze up.
And I was hoping, I put Mets first because everybody should know by now that's where Jamir Montero played. And so I was hoping, one of you guys would bite right away and say Montero. But you guys are smart.
I almost did. And I was like, but glad
you're tricky there, Todd. You're tricky.
Yeah, I try to be, when it's 3 points for each of these questions, you got to make them hard to get. So here we go, though. Player number 2 is a Jamaican. Made an assist on his debut against New England.
Anthony.
Go ahead, Anthony.
Corey Burke.
You're right. There you go. And I guess that was probably the easiest right there. I mean, saying he made an assist on his debut, because at first I'm sure you guys were thinking Andre Blake, could have been Corey Burke, and then the pickings get really slim after that. The other clues for that were 12 goals in 36 games played, currently on loan at St. Pölten in Austria, first name Corey Burke. Do you guys think he'll come back, or do you guys think that it's time for the Union's done?
Tell you, it's interesting because of this pause. Does that mean his loan is still up in May? Like, wonder what happens there?
Yeah, I was reading that it. Actually, no, listening to Sons of Ben the podcast when they had Jim Curtin on and everything, and Jim said they would be excited to get Corey Burke back. So I took that as, once the June loan's up, he's a Union player. Now let's just hope that his visa issues are all worked out if he is indeed coming back to the Union.
I would hope so, but it'd be nice to have him back.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, 12 goals in 36 games. I mean, it's not great, but it's not terrible either. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and he's such a good nasty streak to him that we don't really have another player quite like him, and I've really grown to really respect that guy in his game. I would love to have him back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
To get signed out of Jamaica, to sign for the second team for Bethlehem Steel at the time, and then to impress so much for Bethlehem, the Union gave him a contract. So, I mean, Corey Burke's not had an easy ride to make it to MLS and everything. And hopefully, we'll take him back, because like Jim Curtin said in that interview, once the season resumes and everything, it's going to be about depth and everything. So who's going to have the most depth? And Corey Burke's definitely going to add to that list once he comes back. So let's go on to player number 3, though. First hint is jersey number 10 for the Union. Spent 1 season at the club.
Rich.
Go ahead, Rich.
Carlos Ruiz.
It is not. So, Anthony, sit back and enjoy the rest of these hints. All right, hint number 3. 5 of his total 18 assists came in May of 2018. His first goal for the club was a game winner against DC United. And hint number 5, first name Bork.
Oh, Bork Dotchko.
You're right. There you go.
That last clue I was blanking so bad. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so, I mean, still, guys, anything to play for. So, I mean, you guys, this is the tightest game we've had so far, and I'm enjoying it. So, I have no clue where it's going to go. And there's 2 questions left. I mean, this is everything to play for, guys. And player number 4. Played 1 year of college soccer at Towson University. Hint number 2. Jersey number 12 for the Union. Hint number 3. Played from 2013 to 2015 for the Union. Hint number 4. Scored his only goal for the Union against Dallas. And here we go, guys. The last hint. First name Aaron.
Oh, Rich.
Go ahead, Rich.
Wheeler.
You're right. Yeah.
Oh.
I was like,
that's it.
It is
I
indeed.
couldn't think.
And see, I don't know if you guys paid attention too much to my social media and everything, but I posted his only goal the other day. I was like, wow, I never knew that he played at a local Maryland school at Towson University. Didn't know he was from...
I didn't know that either.
I didn't know he was from Dundalk, which is about 30 minutes away from where I live. I was like, there's a local kid. And he's only scored 1 goal ever in MLS, and it came against FC Dallas. And here we go, guys.
I can picture the celebration too. I
can picture the red card.
It was a good header, to be fair.
Yes, yeah. He was like 6'6" or something, wasn't he?
He was tall. He was a tall guy.
Yeah.
I mean, Only if we could have used his height even more. But I forget who said it. I think it was Scott on Twitter the other day. He was like, yeah, I can just imagine in the earlier years when we would just send in pointless crosses and everything and they would reach no players and everything. So I'm sure that's why Aaron didn't get a lot of action. But here we go, guys. Player number 5 is a homegrown. Has played for the U.S. youth teams. Hint number 3 is a defender. Hint
Anthony.
Go ahead, Anthony.
Mark McKenzie.
It is not Mark McKenzie. And here we go, Rich, your last 2 hints. Jersey number 32. And last hint, first name Matt.
Rich, Real.
Yep, you're right, Matt Real. And, well, Rich, I mean, man, up until that last question, you guys were head-to-head.
Too many of these questions went to that last hint where you actually said the guy's name.
Well, to be fair, if I was a contestant, I would probably take it to those last couple of hints and everything, unless I really knew the answer and everything. But hopefully nobody picks up on that anymore. But let me give you guys a final total, and it comes out to be Rich with 17 points and Anthony with 12 points. So congratulations, Rich. You're moving on to the next round with 17 points.
Good match there, Anthony.
Nice. Good job.
Yeah. Could have went either way.
Yeah. That was the players got me. The previous podcast I listened to, I think I got 2 or 3 each time, and this one, besides Burke, it stumped me.
Yeah, hey, I mean, you guys kept it the closest I'd say out of everybody. I know Ken and Scott had a good matchup the first listen and everything, but you guys kept it until the players and everything. So I really enjoyed listening to you guys battle it out. And why don't you guys tell me where to find you guys on social media?
You can find me at HeyOliver777. That's on Twitter. That's about it. Just usually post union stuff or stupid videos. So either way.
What about you, Rich?
I'm at Rich_Laurie on Twitter. I'm on there occasionally.
Yeah, exactly. You can't ask for more or less or whatever. It's like
I think I'm one of the most muted people on Twitter.
Oh man, but hey. I don't even know what to say after that, but yeah, I mean, if you guys want to follow the podcast, if you're not already, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Free Kick Pod. Find the podcast by searching The Free Kick wherever you get your podcast. And I want to give you guys an update. Last Thursday, April 9th, I was on Field Talk podcast with my buddy Sal. Sal and I, we talked about MLS, the Union, the Galaxy, and just a whole bunch of other stuff. So thanks so much, Sal, for having me on the podcast. And if you guys want to go ahead and listen to that episode, just type in Field Talk podcast on YouTube, and you'll be able to find it. And I'll retweet everything on social media and everything so you guys can find it. And you guys should go and check that out. But again, thank you so much, Rich and Anthony, for being here, and we'll see you in the next round, Rich.
Yep. Cool. See you. Thanks, Todd.
Hey, good luck, Rich. Thanks.
Thanks, sir.
See you, man.
Yep.
Well, you guys have already kind of said my goodbyes for me. So with that said, my name is Todd, and this is the Free Kick Podcast.